Let's talk about a few of the early returns on the trade deadline. We touched on James Harden going to Cleveland. I want to talk about a couple of moves that didn't happen that we
Okay.
discussed before we left, and that is Ja Morant and Giannis. Let's talk about Ja first, because basically the word around the campfire is that they just couldn't get a partner.
Mm-hmm.
To put it bluntly, his name is kind of mud out here in these streets. Like,
for sure.
Nobody really wants to be bothered with his personality.
It's sad.
Despite the fact that everybody knows how talented he is. And with Giannis, they just couldn't find the right trade package. But let's deal with Ja first, man. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, what do you think that he's going to have to do in order to make himself more attractive to a trading partner, or can he, or is he just stuck in Memphis? Or are they just gonna have to release him and let the chips fall, see if somebody picks him up off the waiver wire, or see if he clears waivers and just eat the money and let him go on about his business? What do you think is going to come of that situation?
On the outside looking in, of course, they have to find a way to either trade him or buy him out.
Yeah,
they have to. I mean, that bridge is burnt.
Yeah,
and in terms of how it looks for him, he's going to continue to lose money.
Yeah,
his role to rehabilitate his image is, it hasn't started.
Right.
That's what I'm like. It hasn't started. Like the situation in Memphis has not resolved itself.
Right.
He's still there. They didn't want him. Like there's one thing where you can come in and wolf and ask and beg for a trade and come to practice talking about I'm out, I'm good. But when they get to the point where they like, all right, cool, we gonna make sure you like go home.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the reason why I'm not necessarily concerned, but I wouldn't be shocked that, again, he ends up, signing a minimal deal somewhere.
So you think they just gonna just put him on the waiver wire and just
That's not happening.
They
right. Yeah, I mean,
that's not happening. They're not about to eat that money.
They may.
But so what do you think is going to happen?
I think either he's going to eventually get traded, or they just going to have to eat the rest of that contract. And when he's a free agent, he's going to walk.
How much time is left on the contract?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, because it's got to be at least 2 years, right?
Yeah, that's because that situation is irreconcilable.
Yeah,
it just is.
So you don't think he's ever going to play in the Memphis uniform again?
I mean, I don't see how.
You're right, because he course out Isolo, the coach.
He cussed out the coach, the player. I mean, so again, and what I think about is, Ja the talent.
He is. I'm like, it's really sad.
He's an exceptional talent.
Yeah, because I'm like, but what's the point of just holding on to him, and him not playing and paying him?
But here's the thing. That's what I was going to get to as well. That's not the only thing working against Ja Morant.
Right.
There's also the fact that he's injury prone.
Right.
And then there's also the fact that his style of play lends himself to be injury prone.
He got 2 more years after this.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, he got to have at least. So, but my thing is why would they just hold on to him if they're not going to play him? Like, why wouldn't you just put him on the waiver wire, eat the money, and because if you're not like if you can't reconcile the situation, bring him into the office and say, hey, listen, the only way you're gonna be tradable is if you get back on the court
and you get a jump shot.
Yeah, listen, somebody will want him because he's talented, but you're right. But like, this is a personality problem.
But that's what I'm saying, like long term, because see, again, the talent has never really been the issue with Ja, but it's going to come to a point where it's like, hey, dude, your game doesn't result in winning.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And what he's running the risk of now is being labeled. And,
Well,
and you get what I'm saying? Because
you
look
know,
at
like
what it's done.
he's had a team that got the number 2 seed in the West, you know, in recent history, right? Like, I mean, it's not that you can't win with him. I mean, at this point, like you said, it's the injuries.
Yeah.
It's him being a malcontent.
Yeah.
It's, you know, all of these ancillary issues. It's not his style of play per se. It's he doesn't want to be coached. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
but that's what I'm saying. When you factor that in with the
he didn't like the Taylor Jenkins
you know,
fire.
It's like, hey, bro,
like,
we wouldn't be hearing any of this if he was injured a lot and he'd shut the hell up and not do dumb shit out in public.
Well, yes,
they'd
I
just
agree.
be like, well, we just hope he heals up soon and we get him back out on the court as soon as possible. But when you factor in the fact that he's doing that, and then when he plays, he doesn't play for a long time.
Right.
Like, even when they were competitive, they didn't go to the finals because he was hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. His hand, right. He had
was
that
hurt.
hand injury, right? Yeah,
like, he's always hurt.
Yeah, he is.
So you can't couple having a shit attitude and not be available.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
the
NBA doesn't have a problem with slapping you with a narrative despite your talent. We've seen it happen with Russell Westbrook. Like, the triple-double is just like an afterthought now, because the guy that shattered that whole record is looked at as a malcontent.
Yeah.
Because of a narrative that I don't really know where it came from, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole cloud.
I'm like, what's the answer?
And I don't want that for Ja. You get what I'm saying?
I agree. I'm like, but what is the answer for the kid? Because like, sitting there, like, is he gonna be John Wall? Like, he just gonna sit there and collect?
John Wall's out of basketball,
right? But he just sat around and collected his pay, like, and I mean, is he the next John Wall? Like, I don't really understand keeping a guy on the team.
I'm not going to say that
just
he
paying
won't.
him.
I think even if they try to play him, it won't last long.
Right? Yeah, I know. I mean, right? Well, I don't know. That situation is just way complicated.
So Ja's $42 million next year and $44 million.
Yeah, $80 million.
I mean, right? Like, why not just put him on the waiver wire and just let it be? Because if you don't want him in the building, then just put him on the waiver wire. See if somebody pick him up. They won't. They ain't gonna pick him up for that. They're gonna let him clear waivers. They're gonna let Memphis be on the hook for the money, and then they're gonna pick him up, like you said. That's a minimum deal, but he's still gonna get the money from Memphis, and he gonna play for the Lakers, you know, for $1 million a year. And
so, I understand chemistry and all of that, but at the end of the day, are you trying to pay somebody $80 million who's in the prime of their career to play for somebody else?
Listen, no, yes, if they're not gonna play for me,
if they're not playing for me,
if I'm refusing to put them on the court, listen, I agree. Like, that seems wild. I mean, I would think that there would be some other resolution that I could bring them to the table and we could have a conversation.
People will pay for peace of mind, dog.
Yeah, but if he is so, like, he done cursed out Tomas Isolo, and he's not meshing well with the team, and they done banned him from the facility. You know, like, this is all speculative, but if things have deteriorated to the point where there's no relationship between him and the Memphis Grizzlies, then I mean, right. No, you don't want to do that. That's not ideal. But if there's no relationship, then.
And the way these owners, man, the way they cry about, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked they cry to the commissioner and try and work on a discount. Like, man, I don't put nothing past you.
Right. Maybe go to an arbitrator.
Dude, we gave him that contract in good faith, in spite of, you know, his they'll do some old lame stuff like that. Right. I don't put it past them.
But as far as I know, he's not refusing to play.
Right.
They're refusing to play. So
I mean, they don't want him there.
Yeah, he'll just say, I'll come and play then. You know, like, then give me the money and I'll come and play. But I don't know, man. That's a
That's a ugly
complicated
situation.
Yeah, it
man.
is. I'm sorry to see that has deteriorated that way. Let's talk briefly about the Giannis situation, man, before we get to All-Star Weekend, man. And I want to talk a little bit about the Lions offseason because they put out the top 100 NFL free agents.
Okay.
We can just briefly discuss that. We got plenty of time to talk that over. But Giannis, again, I suspected that could be a problem because I don't think anybody has. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't think anybody has it because Oklahoma City got all the picks in the world, but I just don't think anybody that's willing to get in on the sweepstakes. I didn't think anybody that was willing to get in on the sweepstakes would during the season, and so Giannis is still there, and I think that. You know, I heard somebody say this is why you demand a trade as opposed to being Mr. Nice Guy. You just force your way out and you make it untenable. And, you know, I don't necessarily know about all of that. You know, I like that Giannis is a gentleman about things, but because he is, the Bucks are taking their time.
Right.
They taking their time to get him out of the building. But, I mean, what do you see materializing with this situation? Do you think somebody's going to come with the appropriate package? And again, I ask, what is the right package for Giannis? I mean, it's going to have to be at least 3 players. And I mean, is it 6 draft picks? You think it's 6 number ones? You think it's 5 number ones? You think it's 5 number ones and 2 number twos? I mean, because basically what did Anthony Davis get? 2, they gave up 2 number ones and 3 number twos. The Wizards.
Something silly.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think is going to fetch a Giannis, and who's going to be willing to pay it? I keep asking that question. I'm very intrigued to see what the asking price is going to be. But what say the people's champ, man?
I just think, you know, I just wish Giannis would have been a little bit more decisive.
Yeah.
About what he wanted. Or been honest to say, you know what, I don't know, so I'm going to take it into the offseason to make a decision where I have more time and I can just focus on this season and playing for the Bucks. And, you know.
Yeah.
And I think most people would have been cool with that. But the fact that he, you know, was kind of lightweight, trolling online and, you know, and all that, it's like, well, dude, you know, but at the end of the day with it, in terms of what it would take to get him, I think it's tough because Giannis, I mean, he's not old, but he's getting older.
Right.
And you know me, especially the way things have been trending for the last 5-6 years. Calf injuries scare me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because they seem to be the harbinger of doom.
Yeah, the precursor to those Achilles ruptures.
So the fact that he's kind of frequently having those, and you factor in in recent history, the postseason, pretty much since they won in 2021, he's hurt.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's nicked up a lot too. Yeah.
And even when they won, he played through an injury that most people probably would have took them out.
Yep.
You know, that hyperextension. So, you know, you factor that in with the age, and yes, I mean, when he's available, he's absolutely
he's electric.
A monster, man.
He's electric.
I mean, you have to consider that. You have to weigh that in when you're offering up your future, essentially, and you calculate what can you put around them,
right,
with that cost, because there's a window. I mean, because God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you would probably have to, you know, work in some type of load management regimen with Giannis going forward if you're trying to win it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, because he's shown he misses conference finals, conference semis.
But he's also expressed the desire to want to still win all NBAs and be in the
That's what I'm
for
saying.
MVPs. That's the dichotomy that you're gonna have to draw. He's gonna want to make the 65 so he can so he can get awards because he's very conscious about his legacy.
And maybe he can make the 65.
Because remember, he's the one that made the comments like, they need to do away with it.
And they may have to strategically be like, okay, your number is 65.
Right, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
That's all
like,
you going to play.
Or maybe we make it 70 with a 5-game buffer or something like that.
I got you.
Because he's shown a propensity to, get nicked up when you need him the most, you know, where they still had a pretty much competitive roster. There were years where they bought the championship team essentially back.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there.
Yep.
So, there's that. Right. So, but is he worth it? I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But I just think establishing, whatever the price is, he's worth it. But I think establishing it is where the challenge lies.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I mean, I like that, man.